You just watch someone incompetent get promoted again. They're bad at their job. Everyone knows it. They've made expensive mistakes, failed repeatedly, and created messes that other people had to clean up. And now, somehow, they're your boss. Meanwhile, the person who actually keeps the department alive, the one who solves problems, prevents disasters, and carries the real weight, is still stuck in the same position. Overlooked, undervalued, invisible. And you're left thinking, how does this keep happening? Machiavelli asked the same question 500 years ago, and what he discovered is unsettling. Stupid people don't accidentally rise to power. The system doesn't malfunction and put them there. The system produces them not through conspiracy, but through the natural evolution of power itself. Machiavelli watched this unfold in Renaissance Italy. Incompetent nobles inherited authority. Foolish generals lost wars. Corrupt officials ruined cities. Meanwhile, brilliant strategists, capable administrators, and wise advisors remained sidelined or were eliminated for being too intelligent to control. He realized this wasn't chaos. It was a pattern. And that pattern revealed something uncomfortable. Stupidity is not a disadvantage in the pursuit of power. It's an advantage, not a flaw in the system, but one of its core features. In The Prince, Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." Translation: in power games, appearing competent matters far more than being competent. And stupid people excel at appearance because they lack the knowledge required to doubt themselves. Today, I'm going to walk you through Machiavelli's full analysis of why stupid people end up running the world, not to depress you, but to arm you. Because once you understand the mechanisms that elevate stupidity, you can navigate around them, or at least stop being confused by them. This is why stupid people run the world, and why they always have. Let's begin. Stupid people speak with absolute confidence because they don't grasp complexity. Smart people speak with nuance because they do. And crowds don't follow accuracy, they follow confidence. Think about the last debate you watched. The intelligent person says, "This issue has multiple variables. Historical data suggests A, recent evidence points toward B, and we need to account for C before deciding." The stupid person says, "The answer is obvious. We do X." Anyone who disagrees is an idiot. Who wins? The stupid person almost every time. Not because they're right, but because their certainty is psychologically comforting. Machiavelli saw this constantly in Florence. Politicians who acknowledged complexity were dismissed as weak, hesitant, or indecisive. Politicians who offered simple answers were embraced, even when those answers led to disaster. Why? Because the human brain relies on shortcuts when judging leaders. We evolved in environments where decisive action often mattered more than perfect reasoning. The leader who said, "Run from the tiger now," saved more lives than the one who said, "Let's first assess whether this predator poses a genuine threat." But that shortcut fails in modern complexity. Simple problems reward simple thinking. Complex problems punish it. Yet we still follow the confident voice, because confidence feels like competence. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect, centuries before psychologists gave it a name. The less you know, the more certain you feel. The more you know, the more aware you become of everything you don't know. Stupid people don't experience the doubt that comes with understanding complexity. So they speak with a conviction that intelligent people can't honestly manufacture. And that conviction wins, again and again. Think about your workplace. The smart colleague says, "We should test this approach." Projects like this usually face complications. The stupid boss says, "Just do it. It'll work. I'm confident." If it somehow succeeds, who gets the credit? The boss who projected certainty. If it fails, who gets blamed? The smart colleague who didn't believe in it enough. Machiavelli would recognize this instantly. He wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, because it belongs to everybody to see you, to few to come in touch with you." Translation: everyone can see confidence. Almost no one can evaluate competence. So confidence is rewarded, while real ability is ignored. This is the first reason stupid people run the world. They project a certainty that intelligent people can't authentically fake, and systems select for certainty over truth. Power structures are designed to preserve themselves. Stupid people preserve them. Smart people question them. And because of that, power structures naturally filter for stupidity. Imagine you're running an organization. Two candidates apply for management. Type A identifies inefficiencies, questions outdated systems, proposes improvements that require change, challenges leadership when it's wrong. Type B follows procedures without question, accepts authority instinctively, defends existing systems, never creates friction, never complicates anything. Which one do you promote? If your goal is institutional stability, which most organizations prioritize, you promote Type B. Why? Because Type A is dangerous, not malicious, just disruptive. They see what's broken and they want to fix it. But fixing things requires admitting they're broken. And admitting things are broken threatens those who built the system or profit from its dysfunction. So intelligent people get labeled not a team player, difficult, cultural fit issues, too critical. Meanwhile, stupid people rise. Why? Because they never question leadership. They defend bad decisions. They maintain comfortable dysfunction. They pose zero threat to existing power. Machiavelli saw this destroy Florence again and again. Brilliant advisors who spotted problems were exiled or executed. Mediocre sycophants who praised leaders were promoted and enriched. Not because leaders preferred bad advice, but because they preferred advice that didn't threaten their position. This creates a clear selection mechanism. The path to power is paved by not threatening those already in power. And the easiest way to do that? Be too stupid to notice what's wrong. Think about politics. The candidate who says, "Our entire approach to this problem is flawed," rarely wins. The candidate who says, "We just need to do more of what we're already doing," gets elected. Why? Because the second approach threatens nobody. It requires no change, no admission of past mistakes, no risk to entrenched interests. The first approach threatens everyone invested in the system, which is almost everyone who decides who rises. So stupid people rise, not in spite of their stupidity, but because of it. Their stupidity makes them safe. It makes them maintainers rather than questioners. It makes them ideal servants of systems that need servants, not reformers. Incompetent leaders feel threatened by competence, so they hire people even less competent than themselves, creating a cascade of stupidity. Machiavelli wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." He also understood why weak leaders select weaker subordinates to ensure they never face threats to their authority. Think about what happens when a stupid person gains power. Deep down, they know they're not truly competent. They can't admit it consciously, but the insecurity is there. So when hiring, they face a choice. Option A, hire someone smarter, risk being exposed, risk being replaced, risk looking incompetent by comparison. Option B, hire someone less competent, feel secure, never be threatened, always be the smartest person in the room. Which option do they choose? Option B, always. This creates what organizational psychologists call competence cascading. Level 1, an incompetent leader, IQ 100, hires subordinates slightly less competent, IQ 95. Level 2, those subordinates hire people less competent than themselves, IQ 90. Level 3, that level hires even worse, IQ 85. Result, an organization where intelligence drops 15 points from top to bottom and incompetence compounds at every level. Machiavelli saw this destroy Italian city-states. Weak princes surrounded themselves with flatterers. Those flatterers hired incompetence. Those incompetents hired disasters. Within a few generations, capable administration became impossible. The system had been optimized for non-threatening mediocrity. Modern examples are everywhere. Insecure CEOs hire VPs who won't challenge them. Those VPs hire directors who won't threaten them. Those directors hire managers who pose no risk. 5 levels down, the company is staffed by people carefully selected for their inability to recognize or solve problems. And this happens naturally, not through conspiracy, but through each layer protecting itself from the threat competence represents. Psychologists call this homophily, the tendency to associate with similar others. In power structures, it evolves into something sharper, downward, homophily. Each level selects for people less capable than themselves, because promotion requires not threatening those above you. The ones who rise are those who pose the least threat, the least competent who can still just about function, and when they gain power, they continue the pattern. The result? Stupidity becomes institutional, self-perpetuating, protected from competence by layers of incompetence. This is why entire organizations, industries, even governments can become systemically stupid, not because of sudden failure, but through gradual selection for non-threatening incompetence. Our brains evolved to follow confidence, not competence. And without expertise, we rarely distinguish between the two. Machiavelli understood this. The vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, and the world consists chiefly of the vulgar. He wasn't being elitist. He was describing a cognitive limitation we all share. Evaluating confidence is easy. Evaluating competence is hard. Think about how you judge someone's ability in a field you don't understand. Can you evaluate a surgeon by watching them operate? Not unless you're a surgeon. Can you judge an engineer by reviewing their calculations? Not unless you're an engineer. Can you assess a strategist by hearing their plan? Not unless you're an experienced strategist. But can you judge their confidence instantly? Everyone can. Our brains use confidence as a shortcut for competence. For most of human history, it worked well enough. The confident hunter probably had experience. The confident warrior probably knew what he was doing. The confident leader probably had genuine skill. But in today's complex world, that shortcut fails catastrophically. Confidence often signals the opposite, someone too stupid to realize what they don't know. Yet we still follow it. The psychological programming is hardwired. Research confirms this. A 2020 study found that individuals displaying overconfidence were far more likely to be seen as leaders, regardless of actual ability. The teams led by confident fools didn't perform better. They just felt they did. Confidence is contagious. It makes people feel certain. And certainty feels good, even when it's wrong. History is full of examples. General Custer, supremely confident, marched into massacre at Little Bighorn. The Titanic's engineers, confident it was unsinkable, didn't bring enough lifeboats. Financial leaders in 2008, confident their risk models were sound, collapsed the global economy. In every case, confidence preceded disaster, and yet it persuaded everyone to follow right up until catastrophe struck. Machiavelli would ask, "Why do we keep falling for this?" Answer: distinguishing confident competence from confident incompetence requires expertise most people lack. When no one has that expertise, they default to following confidence. This is why stupid people run the world. Not because we're foolish for following them, but because our psychological wiring favors confident stupidity over hesitant intelligence. And stupid people are always more confident they lack the knowledge to doubt themselves. Moral considerations handicap intelligent actors in power struggles. Stupid actors, unburdened by complex ethics, have access to strategies the intelligent refuse to use. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince who wishes to maintain his position must learn how not to be good, and to use this knowledge or not according to necessity." He's called cynical, but he wasn't preaching immorality. He was documenting a competitive advantage. In any contest, the person willing to cheat has options the ethical person does not. They can break promises, undermine rivals through deception, exploit fears and prejudices, spread misinformation, take credit for others' work, shift blame to the innocent. And stupid people do this more easily. Why? Because intelligence often comes with moral complexity. Smart people think, if I do this, what are the consequences? How would I feel if someone did this to me? What kind of person do I become? Stupid people think, will this work? Yes? Then I'll do it. Moral deliberation slows smart people down. It creates hesitation and internal conflict. Stupid people experience none of this. They act without reflection. In competitive environments, that's often an advantage. Machiavelli saw this in Renaissance politics. Moral leaders were overthrown or assassinated. Immoral leaders succeeded and maintained power, not always, but frequently enough that he documented it as a pattern. Modern examples are everywhere. An ethical candidate refuses to spread misinformation and loses to someone who does. An ethical employee won't take credit for others' work and gets passed over for someone who does. An ethical executive won't cut corners and is outcompeted by someone who will. The amoral actor isn't necessarily smarter. Often, they're stupider, but their stupidity is amplified by a lack of moral hesitation. This creates a game theory nightmare. If ethical behavior is punished and unethical behavior rewarded, the system selects for unethical actors, and unethical actors are often stupid actors, because intelligence tends to evolve alongside moral reasoning. So the system doesn't select for stupidity intentionally, it selects for behavior stupid people can perform easily. Machiavelli's point wasn't be immoral, it was understand that morality can be a competitive disadvantage in power. Design your systems accordingly, or amoral actors will dominate. We didn't listen. And the stupid, amoral continue running the world. Incompetent leaders generate constant crisis, not to be strategic, but to shield their incompetence. And chaos benefits stupid people far more than smart people. When everything is calm and stable, competence is easy to evaluate. You can measure results, compare alternatives, assess performance objectively. But in chaos, all that disappears. In crisis, everyone is too busy reacting to evaluate anyone's performance. Stupid decisions get excused. We had to act fast. Failed strategies get blamed on the crisis itself. And stupid leaders are masters at generating crisis. Not intentionally, usually, but naturally, because their incompetence creates problems, and those problems create chaos. And that chaos protects them. Look at the pattern. Week 1, the stupid leader makes a bad decision. Results aren't immediately visible. Week 2, that decision creates a problem. The leader makes another bad decision to solve it. Week 3, both decisions create bigger problems. The leader sparks controversy to distract from them. Week 4, everyone is focused on the controversy. The original failures are forgotten. Week 5, a new crisis emerges from Week 2's bad decision. Everyone reacts. Repeat forever. Incompetence never gets evaluated because there's always a new crisis demanding attention. Machiavelli saw tyrants do this deliberately. Modern stupid leaders do it accidentally. Their natural incompetence generates crisis, which becomes their armor. Now, the psychological effect, when people are overwhelmed by constant chaos, their cognitive resources are depleted. Critical thinking stops. Pattern recognition fades. They simply react to the latest emergency. Psychologists call this cognitive load. When your brain is consumed by immediate crises, there's no capacity left for deeper analysis. And deeper analysis would expose incompetence. Chaos protects stupid leaders. Think about politicians who constantly create controversy. Are they strategic geniuses or covering for policy failures? Executives who endlessly reorganize their companies, innovating or masking dysfunction. Managers who stir drama in the workplace, dynamic or distracting from incompetence. Pattern recognition matters. Competent leaders create stability that lets performance be measured. Incompetent leaders create chaos that prevents it. Stupid leaders create chaos naturally and survive because the chaos shields them from scrutiny. Systems that reward real competence are the exception. Most systems reward appearance, confidence, and non-threatening compliance, and those systems naturally select for stupidity. Think about what actually drives success in most organizations. Results? Sometimes, but often delayed or hard to measure. Competence? Sometimes, but evaluation requires expertise most don't have. What gets rewarded instead? Appearing busy, regardless of productivity. Confidence, regardless of accuracy. Loyalty, regardless of competence. Likability, regardless of effectiveness. Playing politics, regardless of ethics. These are all things stupid people excel at often better than smart people. Why? Smart people know when they're not busy. They feel guilty faking it. They doubt themselves. They struggle to project false confidence. They question authority. They make others uncomfortable with their intelligence. They consider political games beneath them. Stupid people? They think they're productive even when they're not. They radiate confidence they shouldn't have. They follow authority naturally. They make others comfortable, not threatened. They thrive in politics, never questioning it. In most systems, stupid people have systematic advantages. Machiavelli asked, "What systems actually reward merit?" His answer, very few. And they're fragile. Systems that reward competence require clear feedback, objective evaluation, long-term thinking, expertise-based selection, and protection from politics. Most systems have none of these. Instead, they feature delayed or absent feedback, subjective evaluation, short-term focus, popularity-based selection, and political vulnerability. In these environments, which are most environments, stupidity thrives. History proves the pattern. Rome began with merit-based military promotion, then decayed into inherited positions under incompetent emperors. China created civil service exams to select for ability, then corrupted them into systems favoring conformity. Modern corporations start merit-focused and evolve into political environments where appearance matters more than performance. The pattern is clear. Systems that reward merit naturally degrade into systems that reward appearance, unless constantly defended. Most systems don't defend against it. They slide towards stupidity. This is why stupid people run the world. Systems that prevent them from running things are rare, fragile, and constantly threatened by those who benefit from stupidity.